Morning, colleagues.
Good morning, sir, and colleagues.
Good morning, Bellelani.
Morning, goeiemorgen.
Mornings. How are you today? Mr. Swart?
We're tired. We're waiting on Wednesday or tomorrow, and then the days after until January.
The last stretch of the marathon.
Yes.
The very last stretch before the finish line. All the best, Mr. Swart. All the best, colleagues.
Thanks. Same to you. The end is in sight. The end is nigh.
Yes, ST, the end is now. For us, the end is today. Thank you.
Recording in progress.
Good morning, Chairperson.
A very good morning to you, Mr. Nodada. I know we are a minute away. And yes, our meeting will start at 10 o'clock. Thanks for checking up on me.
Thank you, Chair.
Okay, honorable members, a very good morning to you. It's exactly 10 o'clock. And I should indicate that today's meeting is our last meeting. I'm hoping members are okay and looking forward to today's deliberations as we are going towards the closing of the year and our business for this term as a committee. Mr. Nodada, may you kindly flag the agenda of today's meeting for all members to get access to it on the screen? Colleagues, I am going to request before we start that we include maybe one item on the agenda, as I'm anticipating that this is not going to be a long meeting as the deliberations were done previously in the committee meetings. I'm going to request that after consideration of the draft minutes, there should be an item on consideration of the draft program for our next term. And I should also indicate that that draft will be a working document for now. It cannot be adopted until we start our business for the next term. It will just be presented for members to note it. I don't know if I'm in order and it works well to members. Is it acceptable? It's just a suggestion from my side to maybe make members or to give them light of what to expect in the next term. Am I in order, colleagues?
Captain Chair Lady.
Yes, sir. Mr. Ryder, you may come in.
Yes, morning, Chair. Thank you very much. I think it's a good idea to open the discussions. As you say, it'll be a working document, but it's good to put it on the table now already. So welcome it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ryder. Colleagues, the network is so not okay. If I can cut, I'll keep my video on, but if I get a problem from my side, I'm quietly going to switch off my video. But for now, colleagues, it is important for us to know that as we gather here today for the final meeting of our select committee in this term and the closing session of the year, I want to take a moment to reflect on our collective journey and the critical tasks that lies ahead of us. It has been a year filled with challenges, of course, discussions, and most importantly, our shared commitment to serving at the best interest of our constituencies or our constituents. Today, we convene to consider and adopt the draft reports on the 2024 Special Appropriation Bill and the Adjustments Appropriation Bill. Additionally, members, we delve into the proposed division of revenue and the conditional grant allocation to our provinces and local governments. Each of these elements is vital in shaping the fiscal landscape and ensuring that we allocate resources effectively to meet the needs of our communities over the MTEF. The Adjustments Appropriation Bill is particularly significant as it reflects our government's agility in responding to challenges of economic conditions and emerging priorities. It is essential that we carefully assess the adjustments to ensure that they enhance our capacity to deliver on our commitments as a committee and as delegates and support the long-term sustainability of our programs. Members, in discussing the proposed division of revenue grants, we have a responsibility to ensure that resources are allocated equitably and effectively, as I always say. Our provinces and local governments rely on these funds to deliver essential services and stimulate economic growth and local development. It is crucial that our allocations not only address immediate needs, but also empower our local governments to foster long-term growth and resilience. As we conclude this term, honorable members and colleagues on the platform, let us also recognize the hard work and dedication from all committee members. Your insights and debates and collaborative spirits have been invaluable in reaching informed decisions that resonate with the needs of our people and the people we represent. I am going to encourage each and every one of us to make necessary inputs in today's presentations on the draft reports, as your contributions will shape the recommendations that we put forth today before the House and tomorrow. I also want to thank all the committee support staff for ensuring that our work as this committee is always executed both diligently and professionally. Building from experiences we have learned from the past 5 to 6 months, I have no doubt, colleagues, that I am with a strong team, and I have no doubt that in 2025, we'll forge ahead and have a successful one. Thank you very much, colleagues. I am going to hand over straight to Mr. Nodada to give us the apologies for today and then be ready to present the findings and the recommendations on the report for the first report. Thank you very much, Mr. Nodada. Apologies. Welcome, members. Welcome to the meeting.
Thank you, Chairperson. Good morning, Chairperson and honorable members, colleagues. Chairperson, we have no apologies today. The only member that has not joined so far is Mr. Khatel. So I suspect that he might join us anytime from now, but all other members are present in the meeting. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Nodada, and members. It's also important to note the attendance of any other stakeholder of this committee that is present in our meeting, including the National Treasury. I saw they are present in the meeting. You are all welcomed, and we're looking forward to working with you as we will be adopting today's reports and presenting them to the House later today and tomorrow. Mr. Nodada, can you go straight to the first presentation?
Chairperson, before I go, I see Mr. Ryder's hand is up, Chair. Thank you.
Mr. Ryder, you may come in.
Thank you very much, Chair. Chair, as you indicated earlier, the anticipation was for a short meeting today. I would need to be excused if we're not done by 11:30, please, Chair.
That permission will be granted, Honorable Ryder. Thank you very much. Mr. Nodada.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. On the screen, Chairperson, is the report on the Adjustments Appropriation Bill. Is it visible on your side, Chair?
It is very much visible, Mr. Nodada will go straight to the findings and the recommendations of the committee. I have an assumption that members have gone through their report and they will just make inputs because discussions were made in our select committee meetings. And whilst doing that, maybe I should indicate to members that thus far, the only submission we got was that of Mr. Ryder, and I expect Mr. Lomo and Mr. Nodada and Estelle to have made the necessary review of the report. And as you will be presenting, the changes will reflect on the reviewed presentation of the report that we'll be dealing with. Members, those are the observations and findings. Mr. Nodada.
Thank you, Chairperson. Honorable members and colleagues, this is the observation 5.1. Chairperson, with your permission, I think myself and Mr. Lomo might kind of take over your meeting from this point in time as and when he would like to address any issue. I think the chairperson and honorable members won't have a problem giving him permission to do so.
You will be granted permission based on the clarity seeking questions or the inputs by members. For now, just take us through. At the end of your presentation on the findings and recommendations, I will check with members if they are satisfied. If something comes out of those submissions, then Mr. Lomo will come in to respond.
Thank you, Chairperson. This is observation 5.2. Observation 5.3. Observation 5.4. Observation 5.5. Observation 5.6. Observation 5.7. Observation 5.8. Observation 5.9. Observation 5.10. Observation 5.11. Observation 5.12. Recommendations. Recommendation 6.1. Recommendation 6.2. Recommendation 6.3. Recommendation 6.4. Recommendation 6.5. Recommendation 6.6. Recommendation 6.7. Recommendation 6.8. recommendation 6.9. And the conclusion reads as follows, honorable members. After having complied with Section 12 of the Money Bills and Related Matters Act number 9 of 2009, as amended, the Select Committee on Appropriations, having considered the Adjustment Appropriation Bill B14 of 2024, referred to it for concurrence and classified by the joint taking mechanism as a Section 77 bill, reports that it has agreed to the bill without proposed amendments. Report to be considered. Thank you, Chairperson. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Nodada. Members, can I see with an indication by hand whether there's a member that would want to make an input? If no input, members are also welcome to move for the adoption of this report. I see Honorable Majola's hand. You are noted and you may come in, Mr. Majola.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Greetings to the members and officials. Madam Chair, one was part of the very long process which led us to this destination. Madam Chair, I'm not rising for the purpose of reopening the debate around the proposed adjustment appropriation bill, but I'm rising for the sake of the principle, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, I don't regard the absence or the delay between the NTDP, the previous NTDP, which was due to end last year, and then to translate ourselves or to transfer ourselves to the last one, MTDP 2024-2029. Madam Chair, the delay with that process, Madam Chair, it has been indicated that there might be challenges in terms of take the informed decision with regards to how are we appropriating our funds. Therefore, Madam Chair, it might one regard as a thumbs up exercise if you look at how we appropriate the funds. Therefore, Madam Chair, as a matter of principle, well, I want to formally record my objection to the proposed adjustment appropriation bill 14 of 2024. I'm not intending, Madam Chair, I've got so many issues I've raised with regards to this. And then amongst others, just a few, just to quote vote 17, vote 32, where it speaks of funding the additional ministers and deputy ministers. Again, Madam Chair, as a matter of principle, you know our position is that we don't believe to this size of the cabinet. Our position is to see a compressed sort of formation with regards to the cabinet. Then finding myself approving some things which suggest an expansion on the cabinet. It's a violation of my beliefs in my principle. Therefore, Madam Chair, I formally record my objection to the bill. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Nodada. Your objection is noted, but maybe I should indicate to members of the committee that we are not at that stage of objections of the bill yet. The objections of the bill will be made at the level of the plenary. For now, we are dealing with the report based on our discussions in a committee, and whether these are the true reflections of our deliberations, and these are the considerations and the findings that were made by members of the committee in a committee meeting. I see the hand of Honorable Numalo, Honorable Ndlovu, and Honorable Ryder in that order.
Thank you very much, Chair, and my humble greetings to your good self, and maybe to check as to whether I'm audible.
You are very clear.
Thank you very much, Chair. My greetings, my good greetings to your good self and other members, honorable members that are present here. Chairperson, I want to thank this opportunity because as far as this committee is concerned, we managed to sit in a lot of committees visually and also in person to make sure that we are being taught, especially when we started with the issue of induction, to be inducted to understand what is happening inside this committee. Chairperson, now today, after having undergone all those processes to make sure that we meet with the different stakeholders on this issue, Chairperson, I think on this proposed bill, Chairperson, it talks on the issue of the damage flood that occur in our different area, and there is an adjustment there. Road maintenance, there is an adjustment. We look at the issue of the G20. We look at the issue of that has been raised by different stakeholders, like for instance the rising the youth, which is talking about the high unemployment, which we have dealt with it, and also the COSATU, which has said to us that we must make sure that we hold department accountable because that's where they are underspending and overspending. Chairperson, with all the information that we have gathered throughout the 6 months that we were in Parliament, Chairperson, I move that we adopt this this bill and make sure that it goes through. It will assist us in making sure that we deliver the necessary service to our community. I thank you very much, Chairperson.
We are not moving for the bill, we are moving for the report, Honorable Numalo. I think based on your preamble, you move for the adoption of the report. Honorable Ndlovu.
Thanks, Honorable Chairperson. Allow me, Chair, to remain with my mic as it is, because I won't be in the camera, I mean to say.
You are
Honorable Chairperson.
You may continue, Honorable Ndlovu. You are allowed to switch your camera off.
Okay, thanks, my Chair. Chairperson, I don't want to repeat what the Honorable Whip of the committee has just indicated. We have gone through all the processes, and including the invitation or even the participation of the stakeholders in terms of this report. We collectively, as a committee, be able to ask questions that we understand that we are not sure of. So, Chairperson, I second the adoption of the report as per the move from the Honorable Whip Numalo. So I second the report, Chair.
The report is seconded by Honorable Ndlovu. Honorable Ryder, do you still want to come in?
No, Chair, I've been covered. I didn't see an Honorable Ndlovu's hand, and I'll put my hand up to second the report. Thank you.
Thank you very much, colleagues. The report is duly adopted, but I would like to check with the standing of Honorable Majola. I think maybe he understood the procedure. Mr. Majola, can just for reporting and for noting and for recording, what is your take on the presentation of the report? Because you are rejecting the bill, but we do not know whether, or your view on the report. Can I get an indication from your good self on your standing towards the report of the committee?
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair, and also thank you for your guidance as to what exactly we are doing now, that we are not approving the bill itself, but the report and its content. Madam Chair, my position is not changed. The only change I can provide at this stage is to say, can my objection not an objection, not support of the report itself based on the content contained on it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, honorable members. We note that Mr. Majola is objecting to the report of the committee as not a true reflection of what was discussed in a committee meeting. I see Mr. Dloumo, can you please come in? I see your hand is up. Colleagues, don't mind him coming in. As indicated before, he'll come in to provide clarity where it's needed. Mr. Dloumo.
Good morning, Chairperson. Am I audible?
You are.
Yeah, good morning, Chair and honorable members and colleagues. Thank you very much for the opportunity. Just to clarify the concerns that are raised by Mr. Majola in trying to assist the process. The concerns around the MTDP, Chair, has been raised in the report called Proposed Division of Revenue and conditional grant for provinces and municipalities, because that is where that consent is best suited. Remember, that report deals with the MTF allocations, MTF projections. So the MTDP ordinarily will, when it is published, will inform those particular budgets going forward, because that's a 5-year program. So this report, it deals with the revision of the already passed budget in the 2024-2025. And this is the continuation of what was published or tabled by the 6th administration. And the revision on this bill in particular is a very regulated exercise, Chair. It's revisions that are not coming from the air, but which are based on specific regulatory framework. For instance, the Public Finance Management Act in Section 43 provide for such revisions where there are matters that are beyond the planning of government or beyond the control of government. Section 5 of the Appropriations Act also provide for that particular revision. Section 6 of the Treasury Regulations also provide for that particular exercise on rollovers. So it's a bill that, Chair, does not provide any new allocation, right? It's a bill that completes or concludes the work that was tabled by the 6th administration in terms of the budget. So it's mere a revision of that, what we've already passed. But also, Chair, maybe to emphasize the point, when it comes to this the revised budget, you are really revising a budget that is almost 70%, that is approaching, if not at 70%, expenditure at this point in time, seeing that we're already in the third quarter of the financial year. So there is very little that you can do to maneuver around this particular bill. So the most critical and the most important report is that of a proposed division of revenue and conditional grant, which is a forward-looking report. Chair, thank you very much. I just wanted to give that clarity. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Mr. Dloumo, for the clarity. Members, let's consider the Adjustment Appropriation Bill duly adopted and noting the rejection of the adoption of the report by Mr. Majola. Mr. Nodada, can you go to the next report?
Oh, yeah, thank you very much, Chairperson. As I move to the next report, Chairperson, I wanted to indicate something with respect to this one. The objection by Mr. Majola. We normally capture it here below this paragraph. Say, for example, it will be a one line which will read, the MK party rejects the report. I think the wording, if it's not exactly like that, is almost like that. But once we have captured it, we will share with the committee and members. So I thought, let me indicate that in terms of procedure and not allow the committee to move to the next stage without indicating the correct procedure that we have kind of followed in the past. Thank you very much, Chairperson. I hope that is in order.
Thank you very much, Mr. Nodada. Administratively, I expect you to work on noting the rejection of Mr. Majola on the report of the committee.
you
Agreed,
very
members.
Agreed.
Thanks, Mr. Majola. Can we move to the next report, Mr. Nodada?
Thank you very much, Chairperson. The next report is a report on the Special Appropriation Bill, Bill 19 of 2024. And Chair, as guided earlier on, I'm going to move straight to the observations and recommendations thereafter. Thank you very much, Chairperson. I don't know here whether Mr. Ryder would like to come in, or maybe I can just indicate that his proposal has been captured in this observation, which is observation 5.1. And also, I don't know if Mr. Dlomo would like to have a bite on this one.
I think you must go through the findings and the observations. We'll go to the recommendation. Then I will allow for Mr. Ryder to come in if he wants to, or any other member to come in and make whatever input they would want to make. Let's go through the observations and findings for now.
Thank you very much, Chairperson and honorable members. This is observation 5.1. We received a comment from Honorable Ryder to insert these words that are in red. Now, this observation, if I'm not going to take time, is going to read as follows. Whilst the committee welcomed the intervention to address Gauteng Freeway Improvement Project issues, it agreed with the Financial and Fiscal Commission's view around the need for future projects to undergo rigorous feasibility studies and a proper evaluation exercise and impact assessment studies, both scientifically and economically, including a proper public participation process. The committee noted the 5 billion allocated to the Department of Transport for the Gauteng Freeway Improvement Project debt redemption. It also noted that 3.8 billion will come from the Gauteng province, whilst national government will contribute 1.2 billion. Thank you, Chair. Observation 5.2. As I move to the recommendations, recommendation 6.1. Recommendation 6.2. Again, the reason why that public participation is written in red, it's a submission from Honorable Ryder. Now, this recommendation is going to read as follows. The National Treasury should ensure that any future infrastructure projects implemented by government departments are properly planned with a proper evaluation exercise and undergo rigorous public participation, social and economic feasibility studies, and the necessary due diligence and scrutiny to avoid similar challenges. Observation 6.3. And the conclusion, Chairperson. The conclusion, Chairperson and honorable members, reads as follows. After having complied with Section 12 of the Money Bills and Related Matters Act, number 9 of 2009 as amended, the Select Committee on Appropriations, having considered the Special Appropriation Bill, Bill 19 of 2024, referred to it for concurrence and classified by the Joint Taking Mechanism as a Section 77 bill, reports that it has agreed to the bill without proposed amendments. Report to be considered. Over to you, Chairperson.
Any indication on the inputs from members? Honorable Ryder, do you still want to come in, or you are covered? Honorable Ryder, I see your hand. You'll be followed by Honorable Majola.
Yeah, Chairperson, thank you very much for the adjustment in line with my suggestions. I do think that the public participation process was one of the key failures of this project. And in fact, it came on the back of an article that was published on the website at the time, where they said that public participation actually was a hindrance to government achieving their goals. So I think they learned a lesson from this, and it's a lesson that government needs to learn as well. Not only box ticking public participation, but serious, deep, and meaningful public participation. Because had Sanral engaged at the time, I think that we would have had a very different outcome to the debacle that we now face, which is going to essentially, I believe, cost money until 2035. So that's how far into the future we're going to be paying for this failed project. But thank you, Chair. I am very happy with the amendments as proposed by the administration. And if there's nobody that wishes to speak against them, I'll leave it at that. But I would like to motivate for the adoption of this report in its present format. Thank you very much, Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Ryder. With the input from yourself and the correction being made, you are moving for the adoption. Honorable Majola.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. As the procedure has been explained on the previous item, Madam Chair, can I also deposit my exclusion on the support of this special adjustment, Madam Chair? Again, without intending of reopening the item, we have dealt with it. It has been a very long journey. But my reasons for not included on the support of the report, Madam Chair, is with regards to the exactly two items on paragraph 5, paragraph 5.1 and 5.2. It has been indicated, Madam Chair, that the bailout, Madam Chair, is the process which confirmed that there was a poor planning, or as Honorable Ryder said, that's the key. There was an element of the key failure. So that's one of my reasons for being excluded in support of the report, Madam Chair, because I cannot be part, Madam Chair, whereas the indication was provided that there might be this situation coming. And then we proceeded with the project, and then now we had to rectify it like this. With regards to 5.2, Madam Chair, with regards to the 95.
Can you kindly hold on, Mr. Majola?
Mr.
Nodada.
Yes.
Mr. Nodada, kindly go to the pointers that Mr. Majola is referring to, if they are part of this report. We are now on 5.2. I'm sorry for interjecting, Honorable Majola. I want to remember before I speak. Yes, we are there.
Chair, the last one is regarding 5.2, Madam Chair. Both my principle and the beliefs, Madam Chair, I believe that 95.5 million should have been appropriated to a service delivery orientated votes, Madam Chair. We have seen recently how the Department of Agriculture is struggling, and then it has compromised the positive growth with regards to our GDP by 0.3%. And although there are some other performing, Madam Chair, developmental orientated like mining, like trade, But if that 95 million should be appropriated to a kind of the service delivery, I will have my 100% support of the report. But with regards to both, Madam Chair, 5.1 and 5.2, can I be excluded as my previous position, Madam Chair, be recorded?
Thank you very much, Mr. Majola. Mr. Majola, I think at this point in time, my view and my submission or response to your submission is still the same, but we will note your objection to the adoption of the report, but maybe one should also advise that if your view was raised in the committee meeting and is not well captured or is not included on the report, you should have indicated and you were allowed to make inputs, additional input on your view based on the discussions of the committee towards this report, because this is a report of the committee where the committee do not have powers to can appropriate funds, as you are saying. Ours was to take note of the additional 95.5 million and make recommendations as per our findings as the committee. But I think we'll note your objection as the committee. Can I move to Honorable Numalo?
Chairperson, thank you very much for your time, and once more my greetings to you and all members. Chairperson, as Honorable Ryder has moved that we adopt this report, it's our report as a committee. Like I've said before, that we undergo all the stakeholders' engagement and also to get their view. Up until now, I can't go back. I am seconding the report as what has happened throughout in preparation of this day. I so second the report, Chairperson. Thank you very much.
The report is duly adopted with the noting the rejection from Honorable Majola. Mr. Nodada, can we move to the last report?
Thank you very much, Chairperson. The last
We are
report.
noting, Mr. Nodada, kindly note that Honorable Khadebe has sent a message to myself that he's unable to log in. He's been trying since 10 o'clock. And Honorable Siwisa is also saying that the system keeps on kicking her out. I think it's a network issue. They want to be part of the meeting, but due to unforeseen circumstances and uncontrollable circumstance, they will not be fully participating in the meeting.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. We will note that, Chair. The third report, Chairperson, is the report of the Select Committee on Appropriations on the proposed division of revenue and conditional grant allocations to provinces and municipalities as contained in the 2024 medium-term budget policy statement. As I move to the observations and the recommendations. Thank you, Chair. Honorable members, observation 6.1. Observation 6.2. Observation 6.3. Observation 6.4. Observation 6.5. Observation 6.6. Observation 6.7. Section 6.8. Observation 6.9. Observation 6.10. Section 6.11. Observation 6.12. Section 6.13. Observation 6.14. Section 6.15. Observation 6.16. And the recommendations.
Chair. Chair, through you. Before Mr. Nodada goes to the recommendation.
Mr. Lomo.
Yes, Chair. Thank you. Just before Mr. Nodada goes to the recommendation, I'd like to draw your attention to finding or observation 6.8, which deals with the matters that Honorable Majola was raising in the previous report, and want to draw your attention to that he look at it and see if his issues were addressed accordingly. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Mr. Lomo. Can you go to the recommendation and then I will open up for members to make their inputs?
Your Chair. These are the recommendations. Recommendation 7.1. Recommendation 7.2. Recommendation 7.3. Recommendation 7.4. Recommendation 7.5. Recommendation 7.6. Recommendation 7.7. Recommendation 7.8. Recommendation 7.9. Recommendation 7.10. Recommendation 7.11. Recommendation 7.12. Recommendation 7.13. Recommendation 7.14. Recommendation 7.15. And the report is tabled for consideration. Over to you, Chairperson. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Nodada. Honorable Majola, would you like to come in? As the inputs that you made earlier are part of the proposed division of revenue and conditional grants allocation to provinces and municipalities. Mr. Majola, you may come in.
Thank you, Honorable Chair, and thank you to Mr. Romo for guiding us to the relevant section of the report. Let me also be clear on this one, as I indicated on the previous Madam Chair, that my objection is not at all in line with the content of the report, but based on this particular one, based on exactly 6.8, as Mr. Jomo referred us to. Madam Chair, to me, it's not remain a concern, Madam Chair. That's where I resolved to not be part of the adoption of the report. Get me clear on that one, because to me it won't remain a concern. Madam Chair, the absence of the MTDP, because in other words, it will tell us that we are sucking of what we're doing, which will also be impossible to monitor and evaluate the appropriations we did. So based exactly on 6.8, Madam Chair, as Mr. Romo indicated, again, can I deposit, not in terms of the content, but I cannot adopt the report where there is no scientific tool that influence us to do whatever we're doing in terms of reallocations of funds. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you very much, Honorable Manjola. Your rejection is noted. Though members, I should indicate that what we are adopting is the content of the report put before us as a true reflection of the deliberations in the committee. And I'm calling for members, if something have been omitted, it is your chance, members, to deposit the omissions which you think were not included in this report as a true reflection of the deliberations of the meeting that took place, where these amendments or these recommendations and findings were discussed by members, and they were deposited to this report by the same members of this committee. Honorable Ngumalo, I've noted you. You may come in.
Thank you very much once more, Honorable Chairperson and honorable members. Chairperson, the report talks to the issue of allocation to our different municipalities, and this is something that we have discussed at length, the issue of the DDM, the issue of LED in our municipality, and also Kosatu said something about the debt that the municipality are having in terms of rental, in terms of ESCOM. This is the report that we know, the gender responsive budget that must talk to gender issues. Chairperson, after I have gone through the report, Chairperson, I want us to go and I want us to move for the adoption of this report of this committee as a true reflection of what transpired throughout. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Ngumalo. Honorable Ngumalo have moved for the adoption, members. Is there any member who would want to second her mover in adopting the details of the report as a true reflection of the deliberations in the meeting of the select committee?
Yeah, Lady, I move for adoption.
Honorable Swart will move for the adoption of this report. The report is duly adopted with a rejection from Honorable Majola. Thank you very much. Can we go back to the agenda? Members, thank you very much. I consider all the three reports of the committee adopted as a true reflection of the deliberations by all the members of the committee as we were deliberating on the issues that appears before the report, all of us in the meeting. Thank you very much once again for the collective efforts and your dedication towards the process. Can we go straight to item 5? Because I think deliberations were made in between the presentation of the reports. We'll go straight to the consideration of the minutes of the previous meeting, which is the only set of minutes that we have as a committee. Mr. Nodada?
Yes, Chairperson. I'm sorry, Chair. The system was a little bit slow there.
No
Chairperson. Okay, thanks, Chair. Is the set of minutes visible on the screen, Chair?
Yes, it is.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. Honorable members, these are the draft minutes of proceedings dated 6 December 2024. On the day, the committee held public hearings on Adjustments Appropriation Bill and Special Appropriation Bill. Thank you, Chair. This is page 1. Page 2. Page 3. Page 4. Page 5. Page 6. Page 7. Thank you, Chairperson. Over to you.
Thank you, Mr. Nodada. Honorable members, the minutes have been put before us. Is it a true reflection of the last week's meeting? Honorable Majola.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. No objection. I raise to move the minutes of the previous meeting. Thank you very much.
Mr. Majola raises no objection to the minutes. Honorable Ngumalo.
Chairperson, I second. Thank you.
The minutes are then duly adopted, members. Can we go to the consideration, just for noting, members, of the draft report for the next term? Honorable Ngumalo, may you kindly lower your hand? Mr. Nodada.
Chairperson, honorable members, on the screen is the draft program of the first term of 2025. As the Chairperson indicated, this is a living document. However, probably there might not be a lot of changes or amendments on it. Thank you, Chair. So when we come back next year, the first exercise, members will attend the members training, which will be organized by the NCOP from the 28th to the 31st of January. And thereafter is the State of the Nation address on the 6th of February. And the debate is indicated in the parliamentary framework that it will occur from the 11th to the 13th of February. Then on Wednesday, 19 February, The Minister of Finance will table the 2025-2026 budget, and then the committee will attend the budget lockup session on that day before the tabling at 2 o'clock. As you can see, we are unable to confirm the news so far because a lot might change. So the next meeting, the Minister of Finance, after tabling the budget, will brief the joint meeting of the 4 Finance and Appropriation Committees on the 6th, on Thursday, 20th February. Apologies about that. On Tuesday, 25th of February, the committees will be briefed by the FFC and PBO on the 2025 budget. Then there will be the strategic planning sessions of all NCOP committees on the 4th and 5th of March 2025. The next meeting of the committee will be on the Wednesday, 12 March. The National Treasurer on the day will brief the committee on the Division of Revenue Bill. On Wednesday, 19th March 2025, the committee will consult with SALGA and FFC on the Division of Revenue Bill. On Wednesday, 26 March, the committee will be briefed by the PBO on the 2025 Division of Revenue Bill. We are proposing that on Wednesday, the 2nd of April, the committee will conduct public hearings on the 2025 Division of Revenue Bill. On Wednesday, 9 April, National Treasury will kind of respond to the submissions of external stakeholders on the Division of Revenue Bill. Then on the Wednesday, 16th April, members will brief provinces on the 2025 Division of Revenue Bill. And then the constituency period will start from the 21st April until the 2nd of March. So far, these are the key issues that the committee will be involved in. If there are changes, those changes will be effected next year. As the chairperson indicated, this is kind of a living document. There might be changes, there might not be changes if there are no amendments with respect to the parliamentary framework. Thank you, Chairperson. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Nodada, and members. I hope you've noted the program, and I am certain that it was circulated to all the members, just for you to note and have a feel of how our program might be looking like for the next term. Members, Mr. Nodada.
Very much. Thank you very much, Chairperson. No, I wanted to indicate, Chairperson, that we have not circulated this draft program to members. We have not even submitted it for consideration by the House Chairperson. You are the only one who has a sight of it, and thereafter, once it has been signed and approved by the House Chairperson, it will be circulated to members as the framework of the committee. Thank you, Chair.
I think that is in order, but now that it has been put before the committee, I think they have a know-how, and fortunately and lucky for us, we have the chair of chairs. I don't think he might have a problem with this draft program to be circulated, because the intention is not to put members in a position whereby they'll think that this is a final program for the committee. Just because we have spoken of it, we've seen it, I don't think it will make no harm. And members have also noted that this is not a finalized program for the next term. It is what might our term be like in the next term until it is well processed and signed off for members' consideration. Are we in order, COC? Mr. Ryder? I don't see any harm from my side. Okay, members, this brings
Noted,
us.
noted, Chair. Noted, Chair.
Just
Thank
one clarity, Madam Chair, if I can.
Yes, you may, Mr. Majola.
Just a clarity, Madam Chair. I'm not opposing the draft 2025-26 program, the first quarter, but I want to check, Madam Chair, whether is this lock-up session a legislative procedure, or well, if it's legislated, I'm fine. But if it's a norm, one needs to be convinced, Madam Chair, as to what is really a benefit out of it. I've been in one when we were doing the adjustment, Madam Chair. Unfortunately, as for one, unfortunately, I haven't noticed any benefit of it. So maybe if one can give a motivation as to how was introduced, and then is it legislated? If it's not, what was the main purpose of it? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Majola. I know your sentiments around the lock-up sessions. We had a brief engagement about it. Mr. Lomo, may you just come in maybe to explain just briefly, and I'm not opening up a discussion on the draft program put before us, but I think the clarity that Mr. Majola is seeking is relevant. He is not talking to the program. He's not talking to any date that has been put for the program, but need a clarity on a specific issue. Mr. Lomo.
Yeah, no, thanks, Chair. Thank you very much, Chair. Thank you very much, Mr. Majola. I would share the perspective on what I've come to understood with the lookup session. I would not have the much details of it as to why was it established in terms of the law or whatever, but because I also found it here in Parliament as a practice. But Chair, the motivation around it for me as a specialist is really which makes sense, to empower the members of these four committees before they delved into these different budget legislations. Remember, Chair, the budget in its nature is a very technical animal, and it differs from any other policy proposals, and it's a very regulated kind of a process that needs to be handled with care and so forth. So the lockup session, I think, is one of those mechanisms or interventions to try and ensure that members of the legislatures in finance and appropriation in particular are empowered before they deal with the budget process in terms of processing legislations, adopting the report, and so forth. That's the only for me. That's the only standout motivation. As to whether it is legislated or not, Chair, I'll not go into that because I've not come across with anything in the Money Bills Act that seeks to suggest that the lockup session is a legislated or mandatory kind of a function. So yeah, Chair, not unless my colleague has something to add. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Nodada. Please come in.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. Just to add to what Mr. Jomo has indicated, over and above what he has said, is that the lockup session, in a way, is a courtesy that the Minister of Finance provides to the members of the four appropriation committees to be exposed to the documents with respect to the budget that he will be presenting in the afternoon. So it is not regulated. as we have been interacting with colleagues at National Treasury organizing that process, it has always been made clear that it's a courtesy by the minister that he's offering to the members of the committee. It's not a must that members must attend. I think let me leave it at that.
Meeting.
Thank you, Chair.
I'm sorry for that, colleagues. I think you are properly answered, Mr. Majola. It is dependent on an individual's interest on whether to attend this lockup or no, like a lockup session, but it's not forced on anybody. It comes to us as just a courtesy. This then brings us to today's closure of the meeting. Members, we have successfully adopted our reports, our meetings. We've noted the draft program for the next term, which will guide our work in the coming year. I must also indicate that your dedication and hard work have not gone unnoticed. Members, the support staff, and the National Treasury, FFC, PBO, and all other stakeholders. I've seen PMG also on the platform. I must actually thank all of you to having participated in the committee. It was not easy for some of us as committee members, as all of us are new. And I'm so grateful for the collaboration spirit that has defined our committee's effort. As we approach the festive season, I would want to wish each and every one of you a joyful and restful time with your loved ones. It is a well-deserved break, and I encourage you to take this opportunity to recharge and to reflect on the achievement of this committee. I'm looking ahead to and I am so excited about the prospect of next year. I trust that we will return with renewed energy as we get ready to tackle the challenges that lies ahead of us next year. We know there'll be a tabling of the budget also, as the program has indicated. Together, we will have to ensure that our appropriations will work towards serving the needs of our communities and drive positive change in their lives. Thank you very much again, members, colleagues on the platform, the support staff of the committee, for your hard work, commitment, and the passion that you've shown throughout the 5 to 6 months that I've spoken to earlier. I honestly am looking forward to seeing all of you next year, and all of us must be ready to make an even greater impact in the new year. I wish you well, happy holidays, and a prosperous new year ahead of you, colleagues and members. Thank you very much. This brings us to the end of our meeting.
Long live the chair.
Long live the chair. Thanks, Comrade Chair. And Chairperson, I think Comrade Honorable Majola will also change the position as we'll be going to 2025. Thank you.
You are out of order, Honorable Ndlovu. You and Honorable Majola has your issues outside the meeting. At least this was recorded after the meeting. Thank you very much. Bye, members. Enjoy the
Leave us
holiday.
alone until February.
My friend, my buddy.